WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. The city of Starkville is looking to improve its parks and recreation systems, and they're hoping money from a 1% tax will help them do just that. City leaders in Starkville, they met during a special called meeting discussing implementing the hotel and restaurant tax and how the money will be used. Our Quentin Smith, he joins us live in the studio with a breakdown. Hey, Quentin.
Scott, Mayor Lynn Spruill says she anticipates the city would bring in an additional $1+ million if this tax is implemented. House Bill 1565 was recently passed by both the House and the Senate. During today's meeting, city leaders said money from the tax will be used for the development of Cornerstone Tournament and Recreation Park, along with making improvements to existing parks. Currently, the bill is waiting to be signed by the governor. However, once signed, city leaders are expected to vote on the resolution at its next board meeting.
This is intended to build this new park. So you're talking about a 21, 22, well, I'll say 20, 21, 22, yet to be determined, $1 million park. And so this is going to go to support the bonding indebtedness of this park.
Parks are so important to the community's quality of life. People talk about it, you know, when people look at moving to communities, you know, quality of parks is one thing they look at, you know, right up there with education and other things. So we're really excited about all these various improvements.
Now, if the governor signs the bill and the board passes the resolution, a referendum must then take place, allowing residents to vote on whether they want the tax to be implemented. Mayor Spruill says they're hoping to have residents vote on this issue by June. Scott?
Exciting things happening there. And other not so good news, some teachers in Lowndes County won't be returning to the classroom for the 2019-2020 school year. The district will be losing teachers and teaching spots. Less tax money coming in is one issue, but the district also has more money going out because of its bond issue for recent construction. This past year, the district hired 58 new certified employees. Superintendent Lynn Wright says the cut will impact those first-year teachers. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that all of those first-year teachers will be dismissed.
We will probably have between 40, a little over 40 teachers that will be retiring or being transferred, because we have some teachers whose spouses are employed by the military, and they'll be moving off or employed at some of the industry that we have here, and they may be transferred.
Now, Wright says those spots will have to be filled, and that means some of those first-year teachers could slide into those vacancies. The district has to renew its employees by April 12th. Well, the state of Mississippi is bringing in more money than expected. So where will the money be spent this legislative session? Courtney Ann Jackson is asking lawmakers that question.
The details are still foggy, but there does seem to be a consensus.
At least the talk has been, this is the year to do pay raises.
Teacher pay raise proposals have gone through a couple of versions, but neither proposal would have given teachers more than $2,000 this upcoming year. Now,
we're going to be somewhere around the $1,000 mark for a teacher pay raise. I think we are still massaging those numbers to see exactly what the number will be.
Trying to make an amount that works within our budget because certainly we all respect our teachers and the job that they do in our schools.
Speaker Gunn says that $1,000 would be recurring. He also notes that lawmakers approved another raise a few years ago and says those teachers get step increases each year as well. But other lawmakers say the proposal's not enough.
Absolutely inappropriate and inadequate for teachers in this state. Everybody should be upset. They should be marching on this Capitol is what they should be.
The Parents Campaign says the revenue estimates were too cautious and believe there's more money to work with than what the budget writers claim. Lawmakers are also considering giving educators at universities and community colleges a 2% bump. Meanwhile, state employees may see a bump in pay, something that didn't seem part of the original plan for leaders.
State employees have not received a pay raise in over 14 years. And everything has gone up. The cost of living has gone up.
Speaker Gunn indicates they'll also likely direct money to fix the hole in the state pension fund, which would take up to around $60 million. Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
A Columbus homeowner comes home to a not-so-good surprise after a sinkhole opens up right in front of his driveway. It happened at 1st Street and 7th Avenue South. Our Cash Matlock, he has more on what neighbors are saying about the issue and the smell. Hey, Cash.
That's right, Scott. Well, Columbus Light and Water General Manager Todd Gale says that a sewer line collapsed, causing the road to sink in. Resident Fred Kinder says the hole opened up moments after he drove over it.
Fred Kinder has lived in Columbus for 12 years. He says yesterday morning started out like any other day, except for one little thing.
All I can tell you is that I backed out yesterday, went and played tennis, and there was a little hump, and when I got back, two policemen were here, the road department.
And as it turns out, the hump that Kinder had driven over that morning was moments away from becoming a very large sinkhole.
It could have happened while I was on top of it.
Kinder says he's seen a few sinkholes in Columbus over the years, but he's never seen one quite this big.
One of the city officials came out a little while ago and said, I've never seen it like this. This one is bad because it's a sewer line. They've been out here a couple times because of the odor.
For now, Kinder has to park on the street. He says the city has to order new parts to fix the issue, and that could take some time.
They stayed till about 11:30 last night, digging it out. Evidently the manhole has to be replaced. Everything has to be ordered, and it said it would be a couple days, and that could be 2 days, that could be 7 days.
Kinder says this is a growing issue for the city.
The infrastructure is really pretty sad, because we're on old pipes and manholes and everything.
Well, Columbus Light and Water is currently working to get the issue resolved.
Definitely some scary moments there. All right, thank you very much, Cash. Well, time now to toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson to get a first look at our forecast. Hey there, Keith.
Well, Scott, right now a live view with our Alpha Insurance camera network in Columbus, Tupelo, Vernon, and Louisville shows a quiet evening. Temperatures are still holding up there, around 50 in many spots, although Tupelo at 46, 45 in Oxford, 49 for you in Winona. Gradually cooling on down. The wind is relaxing. It looks like we'll stay clear tonight. Lows down into the mid-30s. Some of you the low 30s, so a little bit of frost potential out there, especially low-lying sheltered spots. For your Wednesday, a chilly start, yes, jackets needed by the afternoon, around 70. Look at all of that sun. What a great day we will have. The full forecast coming up.
Well, Columbus Fire and Rescue responds to a house fire on the 900th block of 7th Street South. Look at these flames here. The blaze started around 6:30 this evening. Now, we're told the house is believed to have been vacant at the time the fire started. Officials with the Columbus Fire Department say that the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Several neighbors reported hearing a large boom and then seeing smoke come from the home. We'll have more information on this as it becomes available. A Tupelo man faces a kidnapping charge after police say he took a woman from Starkville from her home. 32-year-old Matthew Davis is charged with kidnapping, domestic violence, aggravated assault, and residential burglary. Starkville police say Davis burglarized a westbound street home around 7:20 Sunday morning. 90 minutes later, investigators say that Davis is suspected of choking a woman and forcing her to go to Tupelo against her will. His bond is set at $150,000. Police in Tupelo need help finding a man they say got away with not one, but 3 iPhones. Police say Walmart store employees say a black man wearing a Chicago Bulls jacket stole 3 iPhone XS's that were on display. Well, this happened around 4 on the morning of March 18th. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers of Northeast Mississippi. Investigators in Batesville, Mississippi are searching for a man they say hosted a multi-state dogfighting ring that involved injecting dogs with narcotics to make them fight harder. The Panola County Sheriff's Office is seeking Scotty Durrell Draper on felony dogfighting charges. The Sheriff's Office says an anonymous tip led deputies to stop by Draper's property over the weekend. It says deputies found about 30 people watching a dogfight and most of them escaped custody. Sheriff Dennis Darby says several mangled dogs were rescued from the scene. 2 weeks after a dog attack, a Montgomery County boy remains in a Jackson hospital. Anaya Lewis from CBS affiliate WJTV spoke with a family member who says Aiden Green is healing, but still has a long way to go.
Almost 2 weeks after being attacked by several dogs, 12-year-old Aiden Green is making progress here at Batson Children's Hospital. I spoke with a family member who says the community has helped him tremendously during this difficult time. To family, Aiden Green is a fun and outgoing young boy.
Usually he's kind of quiet until he warms up, and then he can be pretty sassy.
His life almost ended when a pack of dogs attacked and mauled Green while the boy was riding his bike. Davis says no one ever imagined such a thing could happen.
had quite a few stitches, and then he has quite a few larger wounds, like especially on his legs and his arms.
More than a week later, Aiden is breathing on his own, and he's slowly getting his speech back.
And then he tried to start talking. We finally understood what he was trying to say. He wanted a Coke. So we were excited to see him, wanting something and not actually being in pain.
Aiden's cousin Amber Davis started a GoFundMe to help her grandfather with the cost of Aiden's care. She says people from as far as California have donated, and she's almost reached her goal.
My grandfather's 75 and he still works. And so in order for him to be able to stay there with Aiden, which is what he wanted to do, and we knew that when Aiden would wake up, he would want him there.
Not too many issues down here in Biloxi right now. I don't know. The traffic is just frozen up. It's a miracle. The traffic is just frozen up. All right, let's talk about what's coming up our way. A lot of sunshine, a Saturday cold front. Severe weather appears unlikely with that system. We'll talk more about that coming up next. Stay tuned.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Well, the thing about television is that we put pictures into motion. And look at this. This is our time lapse from Louisville, Mississippi. We showed you that Skycam going to break. No motion, but this has motion. A great time lapse, a great sunset, a great day here once we got rid of those clouds. Our temperature trend shows around 70 tomorrow, low 70s Thursday, mid 70s or so Friday and a Saturday. Then it will fall off a cliff a little bit for Sunday with a cold front coming on in. But that cold front looks like it will give us some rain and some storms, but not really a decent chance for strong or severe weather. And that's always a good story to talk about here in late March. Temperatures are cool now, 40s and low 50s here. It is a pretty nice evening out there. You can see mainly clear conditions, some clouds and some showers over there in Georgia and eastern Alabama. But aside from that, the entire region is nice and quiet. So let's just talk about where we are headed. Mostly sunny tomorrow for your Wednesday. How about mostly sunny skies and milder temperatures there for your Thursday? A few more clouds here on Friday. Our forecast model is indicating a chance for some rain somewhere around the region Friday. I really think that's going to be back to the northwest, but as we get into our Saturday, there's the front. The best chance for strong storms with this is not going to be around here, it looks like. So that's good news. Most of the upper level energy is going to be well to the north, but cooler weather behind it, a little bit of rain there out ahead of it, and along the boundary on Saturday. But that is a few days away. For tomorrow, your Wednesday, jacket needed in the morning. By the afternoon, wall-to-wall sunshine, highs in the upper 60s to around 70. Winds pretty light and variable at about 3 to 7 miles per hour. So upper 60s, low 70s here from the Golden Triangle area to the south. Upper 60s, low 70s here in northeast Mississippi, 69 New Albany, 70 in Tupelo. Much the same story for you in the West Alabama as well. Highs around 70. Give or take a pretty nice Wednesday for us. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast, and there you have it. Just one little hiccup there on Saturday, a chance for some showers and storms. We're advertising the heaviest rain in the afternoon and evening. There could be a little bit that sneaks in earlier. We'll see about that. But through Friday, we're looking great. Starting Sunday, we're looking good. A little bit cooler early next week, but all things considered here, not too bad. Temperatures at night even moderating just a little bit as well. There's your forecast. More of the show after the break.
Welcome back. This year marks the 75th anniversary of the D-Day invasion, the major turning point in the European theater of World War II. Today, some area residents got to hear from a man who experienced that battle firsthand. As our Stephanie Poole found out, Caledonia resident Bradford Freeman wasn't just a witness to history, he helped make it.
The greatest news story in 1944, D-Day. H-hour. That fateful moment for which the whole world held its breath. What?
Imagine jumping out of a plane, parachuting into a field behind enemy lines. Bradford Freeman doesn't have to imagine. Nearly 75 years ago, a 19-year-old Freeman did just that, jumping into Nazi-occupied France. It was early morning of June 6, 1944, D-Day.
I went on and found out all the rest of a lot of the other boys, and they decided to go take their big guns, and they took 13 boys, and they took them, and the rest of us stayed in the service.
Those boys and Freeman belonged to Company E, 506 Parachute Infantry Regiment, of the 101st Airborne, one of the most famous regiments from the war.
And it was time.
On his blazer are the achievements and memories of his service. Those achievements include the Battle of the Bulge and liberating concentration camps. Today, the Caledonia veteran continues to travel the world, sharing his memories and inspiring others with his service. Every now and then, he teams back up with his band of brothers to talk about the days they served together.
We had a reunion every year but one, and that was the first year after the war, after we got home.
That fateful moment for which the whole world held its breath.
Mr. Freeman returned to Europe just last year as part of the Band of Brothers tour sponsored by the National World War II Museum. Well, grab your peanuts and Cracker Jacks because plenty of high school action from the Diamonds coming up next in sports.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
The number 2 Diamond Dogs taking a break for the evening from conference baseball, looking for the team's 19th non-conference win. Let's get to the Diamond in Starkville for a midweek matchup against Mississippi Valley State. Bottom of the second, MSU down by 3. Justin Foscue at the plate. And the moment the ball hits the bat, it's over the wall. It'd be a solo home run from Foscue to get the Diamond Dogs on the board. The bottom of the third, Jordan Westberg, the SEC Baseball Player of the Week, hits his 7th home run of the season, a 3-run homer to take the first lead of the game, 4-2-3. The Dogs wanting some cushion. Rowdy Jordan sends it out to short, not going to be able to make it in time, but he gets the RBI single, and Mississippi State leads 5-3 to end the inning, and Mississippi State would kick it into high gear and tack on another 13 runs to get the 18-5 win. The Dogs will host LSU coming up on Friday. Ole Miss with a midweeker in Memphis, looking for the win over the Tigers. Top of the second, Ryan Olenek with the shot out to right. It'll be an RBI for Olenek as Thomas Dillard comes in for the run. Still in the top of the second, Tim Elko knocks one right up the right side. That'll be an RBI single for Elko as Kevin Graham comes in for yet another Rebel run. Now onto the bottom of the second. It's going to be Brooks here, hits a 3-run double out to left field. The Tigers would pick up 4 runs in the inning to tie up the game, but Ole Miss would finish off the night with a win. The final 9-6 over the Tigers. Next up, Ole Miss will play a weekend series to Arkansas starting on Friday. 2 baseball powers going at it. New Hope Trojans visiting the Gordo Green Wave. Bottom of the first, 2 on and 1 out for Gordo. Whittington and Nilbun takes one to the outfield. That's going to score a run for the Green Wave, who take a quick 1-0 lead. Caps at the bat now for Gordo. He's going to send one to left center, and that will bring in not 1 but 2 runs. The Green Wave going up 3-0 over the Trojans. And then to the top of the second, 1 on base and no outs. Burt takes this puppy for a ride over the right field wall. The Trojans cut into the deficit, now trailing 3-2. But New Hope would go on to get the win in the close game. The final, New Hope 6, Gordo 5. The Golden Wave in town to take on Columbus. All wave early on. Carson Sorrell hits a blooper to the shallow outfield. The Falcons make the play, but it would come down to the plate. Tanner Goggins slides home, and he will be safe. The ball comes out of the glove and tacks one on for Tupelo. The offense would continue to pour it on. Justin Wilson with the base hit left drives in Jack Bridges for the run. It would be 11-0 Tupelo after just 3. And then Fred Fields, trying to slow down the Golden Wave offensive machine, gets a strike to end the 4th inning. Tupelo cruises to a nice win, 12-2, the final over Columbus. Rivalry week with the Vols and the Pats. Barn burner in the first game of the doubleheader. Nothing in the top of the 8th. In extras, Howell Archer connects on 1. The laser beam down the right field line. Archer would put the Jets on and turns it into a double, but the Pats would shut the door in the game, remaining scoreless. Now, bottom of that inning, Banks Hyde with a blooper down the right field line. Volunteers get under it, but the ball would land, and it's going to be fair ball. Patriots advance Carter putt to second. and then that would set up Seth Harris, the junior, delivering an extra as the base hit to left. That brings home putt from second, and the Patriots would get the walk-off win. Heritage Academy wins game 1 of the doubleheader. The Patriots would win game 2, 7-2 over the Vols. About 3 weeks have passed since the Heritage Academy boys topped Jackson Academy for the MAIS overall state title win. Earlier today, Heritage hosting a pep rally to commemorate the victors that took the Pats to its first overall state title. Heritage beat Jackson with a final of 50-34 in the state title game. That's it for sports. The last look at your forecast is coming up after the break. Stick with us.
It's been pretty here, Scott, for the next few days. Temperatures gradually warming up to the mid-70s here later on. Now, there could be a little bit of rain and storminess here as we start the weekend. At this point, it doesn't look like a strong storm or severe weather maker. Of course, we will keep watching it as we get into next week. A little bit nicer as well. Not too bad for the next 7 days.
Friday looks like a day that we all just need to take a day off and take a 3-day weekend.
The news doesn't stop, though.
We might have to talk to our bosses about that and see what we can
News
do about
canceled,
that
effective
Friday.
immediately.
About that Friday shift.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks, Keith. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.